Welcome. Today was Wrestle Kingdom 19. Today is January the 4th. Wrestle Kingdom 19 has concluded. Well, it's concluded a long time ago, but from the time I was watching it, because I'm here in Canada, the time zone's different. Anyways, I will watch the replays anyways. So Wrestle Kingdom 19 has concluded. We're moving into New Japan Wrestle Dynasty tomorrow. So let's go over and talk about Wrestle Kingdom 19. We start off with the tradition that it is every year at Wrestle Kingdom since Wrestle Kingdom 1. And that is the King of Pro Wrestling Battle Royal. I look forward to it a lot. I love it. It's like, because think about this, my favorite matchup of all time is the Royal Rumble. Take any promotion you have, but the Royal Rumble concept is my favorite. So that's why I look forward to the King of Pro Wrestling Battle Royal, because I love it, because I love that concept, and it's a great tradition that they should keep going. The only thing I'm going to say about that, it's not a negative thing or a knock on them. Bring back the trophy. Well, why did they need to put a belt? But also at the same time, this year, where was the belt? There was no belt. It was just a certificate with a gold star sticker, whatever, on it, and it had winner of the. Bring back. All I'm gonna say is bring back the trophy, because it's more prestigious. Because if anyone who's really knows the history of Japanese wrestling, that trophies are very prestigious. Like, they have so many tournaments, they have special events, battle royals, like the King of Pro Wrestling, things like that. And their trophies are just as important as the championship, the belts. So please, New Japan, if anybody from New Japan is watching, I know anyone, I don't care, wrestlers, executives, I don't care. If anyone's watching, please bring it back. Please? Anyhow, so we had the match. There were so many names that came and went, and we had the tradition of, as typical, Toriano has to come in near the end, and, the things. Because he's synonymous with that match by now. But yeah, we had all of these names, all the great wrestlers. We had last year's winner, Great O'Khan, enter in at number 1 and be in the final 2. Finally, we had a name that they're finally branching and building and pushing, and he's moving away from the tag team division and going into the singles division. That's Hiroki Gato. That's right. Hiroki Gato made it all the way to the finals as well. But I will say one thing that really surprised me, because normally during the King of Pro Wrestling, it's like somewhere in the middle, not at the beginning, but somewhere in the middle, I usually, I go, you know what, I can get up, go grab a quick bite to eat, because, I eat a lot. Not for, if you understand, I need to use the bathroom quickly, because I know that match is normally like around 40 minutes to an hour long. So I'm like, I usually, sometimes 30 minutes, but usually. So I'm like, all right, I've got a little bit of time to, So I go, and as I'm going, and I hear the announcers going, oh my God, what? And I'm like, whoa, am I missing someone? And I look at the screen, wouldn't you know it, Yuji Nagata made his return. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Like, even I was like, holy. Look, my dad looked and said, you know who he is? And by the way, I watch New Japan with my dad. My dad likes wrestling and he likes New Japan, so we watch it together. So he looked at me and he's like, you know who that is? I go, he's a legend. Yuji Nagata, legend. He goes, huh. I don't know him. Obviously, because my dad doesn't know the older names, because he recently got into it in the past, like, 2 years. And I've been watching New Japan a lot longer. But anyway, so he didn't know who he was. But I was like, that's a big deal. So I have a feeling, like WWE when they do Royal Rumbles and they have legends come, it's like a one-time, hey, they're here for the Royal Rumble and that's it. I think it's the same thing with Yuji Nagata in the King of Pro Wrestling Battle Royal. It was a one and done, one time go, and you're done. But I was hoping that Great-O-Khan would have retained his King of Pro Wrestling title. Well, at this point, the championship belt doesn't mean anything because there is no championship belt. So it more counts as he won last year. I was hoping he would have retained and won again. So back-to-back winner. But hey, at least I like Hiroki Gato. I actually like him. It's not a knock on Hiroki Gato. I actually like him. I like his gimmick, his entrance music fits his gimmick, his style, the way he wrestles. He's good. And I'm glad they're finally letting him be a singles competitor because since I've been watching, I've known him more as a tag team guy. But hey, I'm glad they're taking chances on someone who's been with the company for a long time and finally saying, "Hey, here's your shot. Let's see what you could do with it." So, great choice and a great final too, by the way, because Great-O-Khan, a lot of people that I've talked to and a lot of people that I've heard had said, "Oh, Great-O-Khan should be in this match. Great-O-Khan should win this match. Great-O-Khan." So it makes sense for them to, hey, you know what? Put him in the final too. Don't have him win. One thing that was confusing though, I'm going to say this. Very, 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 very confusing. Now, obviously, for anyone who knows the faction, Just Five Guys, they recently, near the end of last year, broke up, and Sanada went back onto his old gimmick where, blonde hair, beard, the rocker gimmick, if you will, is what he's doing again. So he left Just Five Guys, and he mainly left Just Five Guys because he had beef with Taichi. Taichi comes in chasing Sanada, and I was like, okay, I get the beef, but why is it that Sanada goes, all right, I'm just going to eliminate myself? He jumps over the top rope, eliminates himself, then Taichi goes through the bottom middle rope. He didn't get eliminated. He went through the bottom middle rope, and he was chasing Sanada all the way to the back. That was kind of confusing to me for a second because I was like, oh, yeah, Taichi's going to randomly show up, but they never said anything about that. They just said after Hiroki Gato got the pin, yes, he didn't throw Great-O-Khan over. He pinned Great-O-Khan. By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, you can either pin them to be eliminated or throw them over the top rope to be eliminated. So when he pinned Great-O-Khan, the bell rung. I was like, oh, so Taichi was not supposed to go through the bottom middle. He was supposed to go over the top rope. Huh. A little mistake they made there. It was very noticeable, but maybe it was probably was like the heat of the moment where I'm in this feud. I just need to kick Sanada's ass right now and wasn't thinking. I don't know, but hey, it was overall a great match as usual, and as usual every year I always give it a 3-star because it's nothing like, oh my god, the greatest thing in the world, because it's not like WWE where they have the Royal Rumble where they make it this super ultra spectacular mega like the big WrestleMania like thing. Here it's like, here, Battle Royal. It's great. 3 stars. It's never bad. It's never ever been bad. I'll say that. It's never. I give it a 3. So now we go into the actual pay-per-view. Yes, for people who haven't really watched or don't really know the setup for New Japan and how they do Wrestle Kingdom, the King of Pro Wrestling will always be like their pre-show. And then from there, they will give you 20 minutes to pre-order the pay-per-view or go on to New Japan World and click on it to get it set up and ready. And then they have a couple of ads in between during the thing. They show, hey, look, sponsored by this. Hey, we got this, So this is like their pre-show stuff, which is good. And before in the past, this is what it used to be. It used to be you're in the final 2, match is over, night 2, this is when they started doing night 2. So they go night 2, now the 2 of you will face for that crown or the trophy. But this year they just said, you're in the finals, you're done, go. That's it, done, finish, all right? So there was that. I don't hate that concept. I think it's a lot better than just having final two and then have a one-on-one match. So, anyways, so now we get into the actual Wrestle Kingdom main pay-per-view. The opening match was the IWGP Junior Tag Team Division. And sorry, I have my notes written here because I want to remember the orders because there was a lot of matches. Anyway, so the IWGP Junior Tag Team titles in a ladder match. And for anyone who doesn't know, for New Japan, their ladder matches are consistent tables and ladders, but they call them ladder matches. It's not a TLC. There's no chairs. It's just ladders and tables. Anyway, so we had champions Kushida and Kevin Knight versus War Dog members Clark Connors and Drill Mahoney. We had Undisputed Era's TJP and Francis Akira. We had TMDK, Fujita and Robbie Eagles. All right, these were the people that were in the match. Um, So the match was good. As typical, how ladder matches always start. Everybody's running around trying to look for ladders, this, that, and the third. Match was great. There was a lot of moments where typical ladder matches where you think, oh my God, they're gonna win. Nope. Oh my God, they're gonna win. Oh, so I like those feelings in a ladder match. When you have a ladder match, you got to give us those moments of like, oh my God, they could do it, but don't. Oh my God, they could do it, but they don't. You know, give us the moment where, holy crap, they're touching the belt, but no. I like those moments. There was a huge. It was a big botch. It was a major botch in this match. I forgot which team it was, but they set up the table on the barricades on an angle, and one of the members was holding the table, hoping so the table doesn't move. And the other guy grabs one of the competitors in the match and tries to slam them into the table. But instead of slamming him onto the table, which the spot called for, because I know what he was doing, he was going for a body slam. So the spot called for hit him, drop him right down the table where the table cracks. But instead, he hit him right at the bottom. So here, table was like this. You're supposed to hit him here. Instead, he got hit here. And not only that, when he dropped them here, which is very hard, the very, very hard part of the table, by the way, the other guy holding the table, for some reason, the table went like this, went up and went seesaw a little and came right back down. And I'm like, that was a mistake. My dad even looked at me and we're both like, that was a mistake. There was, and even when I looked at them, when they looked at each other, the guys that were doing the move to the other guy, they looked at each other like, and then great right in because even they probably clicked in their head quickly like, yeah, we messed up. They probably were telling each other with facial expression, yeah, we messed up, just move on. So anyways, there was that, and then there was also another moment where Kevin Knight dived off the top rope. Oh no, sorry, off the tall ladder, and he completely missed the dive from the angle that they had it originally. It was fine. It looked good. Then when they showed the replay, you're like, did he just miss him completely? Because the replay, they screwed up. Whoever was working the truck screwed up by showing the angle where we could see everything. Here's the guy like this, and here's Kevin Knight. He's trying to do a splash. So he's splashing. So the guy's like facing this way. Kevin Knight's splashing, and he goes like right here. So think about this. Splash, and he goes right here. And then he extended his arm a little bit, but he just went like this. But from an angle that they had it before the replay, it looked like he sort of hit him, sort of didn't. So you're like, he didn't miss. No, he completely missed. But the other guy had to sell it. So I was like, But at the end, TMDK's Fujita and Robbie Eagles won. I'll say this. I preferred the TJP and Francis Akira win because big fan of Catch 2-2, big fan of United Empire, and I'm a big fan of TJP. Okay, I will stop you right there. I did not like TJP when he was in WWE. Couldn't stand him. He was boring. When he went back to TNA, I liked him because I'm like, okay, this is the TJP we're all looking for. but they tried to play off his WWE video game like character gimmick, and I was like, please, please, please. Then he goes back to New Japan again, goes back. Because think about it, TJP was in New Japan for a long time in the like late 2000s, then went to TNA, then well first came to TNA, then went to New Japan. This was all within the early 2000, late 2000, then went to WWE, then went back to TNA, then back to New Japan in 2019 or 2020. But this is the best version of him, and I've read from interviews that he's done. This is who he actually wanted to be all this time. He gets to play a version of himself. He gets to be himself, who he actually is in real life, and gets to pay homage to his Philippine background. So it was like perfect, and I love it. I also like the Francis Akira, great team, and I love United Empire. So I was hoping they would have won. And hey, I'm not upset that TMDK's Fujita and Robbie Eagles won. I'm not upset about that at all. Not one bit. Do you know why I'm not upset about that? Because TMDK has been blowing up this past year. They were doing so much with Zack Sabre Jr. winning the G1 Climax, winning the IWGP title. You know, Robbie Eagles has another belt under his name. You know, TMDK rose up to being like main event faction. So I'm not upset about that. I don't mind it. We'll see where they go from there. And then that match, I give it a 3 stars. It could have been a little better, but it was slow paced at the very beginning, and the 2 botches, I kind of knock them for it. They were pretty blatantly bad. I'm gonna say that. I'm sorry. It could have gotten a half a star, maybe 0.75 more, but I'm sorry. They had their faults. Anyways, next we had the IWGP Women's Championship. Azumi versus Mayu Awatani, who was the current IWGP Women's Champion going into this match. This match, from that point, I was like, this is great. This is an amazing match. This is like top to bottom, high fly, explosive, in your face, everything. They were so smooth in their match. I was like, my dad even looked at me and said, these women wrestle better than half their guys in New Japan. And I go, yeah, they do. And he wasn't wrong about that, because they did very well. They had a lot of great chemistry with each other. And at this point, I was like, I don't care who wins. Both of them, great job. See, before the match, I said I want Azumi to win. But as the match went on, I go, I don't care who wins. They're both well-deserving. Both went on a great match. It was back and forth like you couldn't believe. They both sold a lot of moves. You know, at the end, great. It's a great way to go, too. A dragon suplex with the bridge pin. I was like, I'm not upset with that finish. That's a great finish. Now, obviously, if you watch wrestling in Mexico or you watch wrestling in America, even I probably would say UK, but mostly America and Mexico, dragon suplexes are more transition moves. But I wasn't upset, because in New Japan, those types of suplexes, more so Japan, it's very old school, traditional, way of, hey, that's my finish type deal. So I like that little way of going. And so far, this was the match to really look out for it, and I'd give it a 3.5. I was going to give it a 3.75, but then I'm like, there could be stuff better. So I give it a 3.5. Then next, we had another match that I was looking forward to. It's the New Japan TV title, Fatal 4-Way. ELP versus Ryosuke Oe versus Jeff Cobbs versus Ren Narita, who was the current champ at the time. And the reason why I was looking forward to this match. Come on, Jeff Cobbs. I like Jeff Cobbs. Jeff Cobbs, again, like I said, I like United Empire, so why wouldn't I like Jeff Cobbs? Come on. I also follow Jeff Cobbs on every social platform, and I share his stuff. I post this, I comment. So you get the point. I like Jeff Cobbs. He's a cool dude. So anyways, so that's why I was looking forward to it. Also, ELP, El Fantasma, made his return 2 weeks ago after fighting cancer in and beating it in 2024 because he announced it at the beginning of 2024. He had cancer and he has to leave. He fought it and went into remission and beat it. Congratulations, El Fantasme, from one Canadian to another. I salute you. Anyways, screw cancer. But yeah, so I was like, great to see him back. I want to see, does he still got it? And oh boy, he still got it. And I'm not mad that El Fantasme is your New Japan World TV Champion. But I'm sad to report this. The match didn't live up to what was in my head because I love Jeff Cobb. I always give Jeff Cobb like 3.5, 4-star matches because for his style, amazing. ELP's always put on amazing matches. Ren Narita is one of the top heels there, which is amazing. I don't know the Ryoke guy, so I put him away like I don't really know you a lot. But sadly, I give this a 3-star. I wanted to even go down to a 2.75, then I'm like, no. Near the end, the last like 3-4 minutes, oh boy, they picked up. So I give it a 3-star. Anyhow, next we have my favorite, as you could tell, Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of New Japan, versus Evil, with Hiroshi Tanahashi's career on the line. Yes, Evil, if anyone has followed this, and if you haven't, Hiroshi Tanahashi has mentioned that he's doing a retirement tour in 2025. What's with wrestlers doing a 2025 retirement? John Cena announced the 2025 retirement tour. Hiroshi Tanahashi announces a 2025 retirement tour. Jeff Jarrett announced this is his last contract and it's only for the year. I guess 2025 is a year of wrestlers retiring, I guess. Anyway, so Evil said he wanted a match. No, sorry, Evil didn't say he wanted the match. Evil was poking at Hiroshi Tanahashi, and it ended up becoming to where Hiroshi Tanahashi wanted a match with Evil, and then Evil said only if you put your career on the line, and Hiroshi said done, deal. So anyhow, I was looking forward to that match. Two great wrestlers, and Hiroshi Tanahashi is actually in my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time. So that was a big up for me. And that match went very decent. It didn't go as crazy as I wanted. Now, why do I say it didn't go as crazy as I wanted? Because too many ref bumps. I'm going to say that right there. One ref bump is okay, but 3, come on. 3 is too much. 1, okay, 3, too much. Like, I was going to give it a 3.75, but I was like, no. For the extra 2 ref bumps, I'm not happy with that because during those other 2 ref bumps, there was more involvement with New Japan Pro Wrestling legends and veterans and House of Evil and House of Torture and all of them coming in. I was like, again, come on. I want more of these 2. Let New Japan veterans and legends fight with House of Torture on the outside on their own. Let them do that. So I gave it a 3.5. And you know what I really loved? Oh my god, I was shocked as all hell when it happened. Katsuyori Shibata came out. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Katsuyori Shibata comes out and challenges Hiroshi Tanahashi for a match at Wrestle Dynasty tomorrow. And Tanahashi put his hand down and shook his hand. I'm like, oh my god. Anyone who knows how big this match is, it's Musketeer versus Musketeer. I should explain this for any of my non-New Japan viewers. A Musketeer, a 3 Musketeer is that generation's top wrestlers. They're called the Musketeers and they're passed down from the previous Musketeer. So for New Japan, this generation's Musketeer is Hiroshi Tanahashi, Katsuyori Shibata, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And yes, they still reference Shinsuke Nakamura as a Musketeer regardless of him being in WWE. But once all the Musketeers retire, then they pass it down to the next generation of 3 Musketeers. So this is a big deal to have Musketeer versus Musketeer. I was like fanboying, fangirling out. Oh, I was like over the. I'm like, holy shit, this is mega uber. Holy mother of! I was like, oh. So anyhow, this match I give it a 3.5. Then next we had the never open weight champion Shingo Takagi versus the AEW International Champion Konosuke Takeshita for both belts, title for title. Before this match happened, I said Konosuke Takeshita needs this match. Why? He's only 27. He's building a career. He was put in the spot of PWI's list. Yes, he was put in PWI's top 50 wrestlers list. He was put in ESPN's 30 under 30. So many fans have talked highly about it. And I said, and I'll say this about Konosuke Takeshita. When he signed it with New Japan, I think it was late 2020 or was it 21? When he signed, I told everyone, this guy's a big deal. I like this guy. This guy's going to make it. Everyone's like, oh, you only like him because he's Japanese, because he came from Japan. Oh, because you're a big New Japan Japanese wrestling fan. Oh, you only like it. I said, no, take a look. Who personally went out to get him signed? Who vouched for him? Who went to Tony Khan and said, you have to sign this guy? Kenny Omega. Why was Kenny Omega begging and putting a stamp and forcing Tony Khan to sign this guy? There's a reason behind it, and I was right. He grew and built, and I said he needed to win this. And wouldn't you know it, this match? Oh my God. At that moment, very, 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 very moment was match of the night. So far, a match of the night. Yes. Very much back and forth. Lots of this, lots of that, lots of holy shit moments, lots of wowzers. It really showed that Konosuke Takeshita will be a huge mega star to come by the time he's in his 30s. Because usually how it works in the world of wrestling, for anyone who doesn't know, your 20s is the time you build to become a superstar. Once you hit your 30s, you become a mega star if you build that. And Konosuke Takeshita has that. And he won both belts. Kudos to him. He won both belts and well deserved. I just hope he stays in New Japan for a little bit. I know he has to probably go back to America because they have couple of big Dynamite special events going on in January. But I just hope he stays in Japan for a little bit because, come on, he should at least show them, hey, look, I'm the never open weight champion, and I'm going to prove it that, hey, at this road too, I'm going to prove it. Hey, at this event, I'll prove it. And then have him come back after in mid-February, late February for what is it? For the promotion for Revolution, which got moved to March. So anyways, so good on Konosuke Takeshita for winning that. Well deserved. And good on Shingo Takagi, because I'm a big fan of Shingo Takagi, by the way. Huge fan of his. Love his work. Then we go into next match, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Doki versus... Oh, did I rate that? Yeah, 3.75 for the title match. Anyways, Doki, which was the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, versus El Desperado, which years prior, Hiromu Takahashi was given the title as he was the centerpiece, the junior heavyweight guy. Last year, they gave that title to El Desperado. Well deserved. Anyway, so match happened. Match is going on. Match gets thrown out. I am not going to rate this match at all. I'm not going to give it any rating due to the fact that this match got thrown out because Doki got injured. There was a spot that the match was good. I was hyped for it, but it wasn't even 10 minutes into the match and it was thrown out. Not even. Doki goes onto the top rope. El Desperado's like laying like this at the barricades, like this. So Doki was doing a diving leg drop. I think he overshot because they showed the replay twice. After he landed and just stayed there, they showed the replay twice. Here's the barricade. His leg landed right here on the barricade. He didn't even make contact with El Desperado's shoulders or chest or any of that. His legs right there. So I think what happened was he hit his calf hard, and I think he injured his calves because it was his calves that hit the barricades. And then within like minute and a half, they just rang the bell and said, new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, El Desperado. And I was like, huh? And then you see staff, like 4 or 5 staff, 2 referees running after Doki. So I hope it's not a serious injury. I hope it's a mild injury, but get well soon, Doki. So no rating on that. And then we move into the co-main event, the IWGP Global title, which was David Finlay, current champion, versus Suji Yoda. And Yota becomes your new IWGP Global Champion. And I'm a fan of Yota. Not as much as Shingo, but I like Yota. And by the way, and if you haven't picked up by now, I oh, that wasn't the co-main event. I'm sorry, the co-main event was a different one. But anyhow, um, my mistake on that. The co-main event is next. But I'm a fan of Los Ingobernables de Japón. So anyhow, so I was hoping I've never liked David Finlay. I always used to be like, yo, this guy sucks. Great wrestler, great on the decent on the mic, but I was like, this guy sucks because his attitude sucks. The way he goes about it, he just sucks. But hey, that's what he's supposed to. He's supposed to. He wants you to hate him. And I personally, I was like, I just never got into the guy. I just don't know what it was. This match, I was like, yo, he turned me. He changed me. He brought me over. I respect the man now. Anyhow, match was back and forth, left, right, up and down, you name it, everything. So much moments. I was like, yes, this is what I want to see tonight. This is what I've been waiting for. Became match of the night until later on, but I was like, yes, 4 stars. Congratulations, Suji Yota, for becoming the new IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion. I was expecting someone was going to come out, but nobody did. But 4 stars, amazing match. If I'm going to recommend one match to watch from tonight, that's it. Start with that. And even the main event and we watch the show. Anyways, now we move into the co-main event. Tetsuya Naito versus Hiromu Takahashi, which I'm a huge fan of Hiromu Takahashi. Also in my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time. Anyway, so I was surprised when this match was announced. And at the beginning of this match, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me, Hiromu? Because here's the thing, for anyone who doesn't know, LIJ, Los Ingobernables de Japón, do this. Naito did that. Hiromu didn't reciprocate and put his arm up with him. So I was like, uh-oh. But luckily, when the match ended, Naito won. I'm not surprised that Naito won. Because the whole point of this match was Hiromu came out during one of the Road to Wrestle Kingdom. He was like, I just want to prove it. You know, we did well in the Super Junior Tag Division, tag tournament. And we went all the way to the finals. But we didn't win, but we went to the finals. I just want to prove it that, hey, I can hang with you. I want to prove that I could be just as much of a leader as you can. Maybe better. So Naito said, prove it. Let's have a match. So they had a match. So this was the whole inclination for this matchup. But when the matchup ended, Hiromu gets up and he puts his hand up like that, bows, gives him the bow, and I'm like, yes, thank God. Because I would have been upset because Los Ingobernables de Japón is my favorite faction in New Japan, and I would have been upset if they broke up. I would have been upset if Hiromu would have left. Because Hiromu, by the way, if he would have left, I don't think there's a lot for him because he passed the torch of being the guy, this generation's centerpiece, the guy that represents the junior heavyweight division. He kind of passed that on to El Desperado. So I was like, thank God he's not gone. Thank God they're not breaking up. So anyhow, I give that match a, what did I give? 3.5, right? Yep, 3.5. I wanted to give it a 4 because it's Hiromu, but I was like, 3.5. Anyhow, now we go into the main event. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Shota Umino. I like Shota Umino's entrance. It was a great entrance. I'll give him that. Comes out with a motorcycle. I didn't know he rides, but hey, it's cool. It was a cool entrance. Apparently, they built him a pathway for him to come in, enter in, come around, go up the thing, go onto the stage, come down the ramp. I was like, that's really dope. The match at the beginning, I was like, it's not because it didn't start off like boom. It didn't start off like or very technical or very brawler like, which both of them do. Because I was sitting there looking at it in the sense of like, okay, the IWGP Global Championship match was my match of the night so far. It's a 4-star. So I said this one, I was like, then it picked up, and then it picked up, and then I was like, wait a minute. Right away, within 15 minutes into the, no, 12, just under 15, like 10, 12 minutes, I was like, there we go. This is now where I want to see this match. And it proved that Shota Umino can play. And when I saw Shota Umino last year when they started pushing him with the whole John Moxley thing and trying to get, I was like, this kid's got something going. And I said, yeah, his dad is Red Shoes. For anyone who doesn't know Red Shoes, he's the lead veteran referee in New Japan and has a gimmick where he's the only one that wears red shoes. Shota Umino is the son of Red Shoes, the referee, who refs always the main event of every event. Anyhow, so I was like, this kid's got it. He could do it. Everything's good with him. And Shota really deserves it. Because also Shota Umino made it to ESPN's 30 Under 30. Well deserved, by the way. So anyhow, so the match goes great. I was shocked that there were lots of moments in that match where Red Shoes is like, he's looking away, like literally like looking away because Shota was in submission holds where he wouldn't let go for like 2, 3, 4 minutes. And I was like, I see as a father, you're looking at your son and you're seeing your son screaming in pain, but doesn't want to tap out. It's hard to watch. I get it. There were also times where Shota was doing something where Red Shoes should have come in like, hey, and push him back. But instead, he just looked at him and said, hey, and then stepped back. And I'm like, okay, I get it. He's playing a little bit of fatherly dad thing. But then Shota was supposed to get DQ'd because he kept stomping a mud hole on Zack Sabre Jr. And I was like, why isn't it was in the ropes? And I was like, why isn't Red Shoes doing anything? But instead, he keeps yelling, stop, hey, stop. Shota pushes him like, oh, he just pushed his father. Uh-oh, that's not a good look. Uh-oh. He pushed him not once, not twice, but 3 times. But then after that whole thing happened, he turned over to his dad. He gave him a nod like. So I think it's more like, I get it. It was part of the match. And the whole nod to his dad was more like, hey, I'm sorry. I was in the heat of the moment type of, I get. So anyhow, so the match goes, it's back and forth. It's great. I loved it. It was explosive. It was the technicality and brawling style you want to see of Zack Sabre Jr. and the heavy brawling and heavy beatdown style you want to see of Shota Umino. And I was like, perfect. This was amazing. The way the match finished was great. Well deserved. Zack Sabre Jr. to retain. And Zack Sabre Jr. becomes the first ever foreigner to walk in as IWGP Heavyweight Champion at Wrestle Kingdom and walk out as IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Congratulations to ZSJ Zack Sabre Jr. And I give this a 4-star, and I'm debating now my match of the night between, you know what? No, this was my match of the night. The main event was my match of the night. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Shota Umino, IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Very close. David Finlay versus Suji Yota for the IWGP Global title. But overall, I love the pay-per-view. I always look forward to Wrestle Kingdom. I get just as hype as I do for Wrestle Kingdom as I do during WrestleMania season for WWE. So anyway, so overall, what do I rank the pay-per-view as a whole overall? 3.5. Not bad. It was a great pay-per-view. Now, come back tomorrow because we will be reviewing and talking about New Japan Wrestle Dynasty. Anyways, if you're not yet subscribed, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button to be notified about all videos. And hey, smash that thumbs up button if you like these videos. If you want long videos like this, please let me know. If you want shorter reviews, please let me know. Anyways, remember, as always, enjoy life, keep on collecting. We'll see y'all for another video.